Hi, I'm Haifal Owaisi, and this is my final artwork piece. This artwork represents how art inspires hard work in the current young population through the ability of African women to endure the hardships of life in realizing their dreams. Coming from a primitive past, the African women continue to shine through consecutive strides she makes every day. Among them is the struggle for equality and inclusion of women in decision making. The topic of the African woman is one of the many interesting topics that artists can express, and they cut across challenges, struggles, governance, style, politics, and people. Artwork is a unique way of expression compared to text due to its emphasis on the detail and concept. The most unique art perhaps comes from Africa, where they have diverse cultures and beliefs. Therefore, this artwork analyzes the above painting of a modern African woman who has not forgotten her traditions but blends the two. It seeks to understand what keeps her going, irrespective of the challenges. First, to understand this work, we like to share a background information of the struggles and straits of the African women. African women for a long time have been denied the right to education, and in some countries they continue to do so. As a result, she has been living in darkness from the rest of the world. She didn't know her potential and possibilities. However, the situation continued to change as more of them are currently shining academically in university and college, including United States University. Education has played the biggest role in transforming their life. Currently, they have risen to top position in company boards and in government. This aspect has helped them be able to fight for inclusion of more women in the executive class. The primitive African woman was severely mistreated both at the family and national level. The African man believes they rule the world and that no woman has the right to speak against their deeds, took advantage of that fact, and mishandled women. They believed that the role of a woman is to bear children, take care of them, and respect their men. Therefore, they ended up in polygamous marriage, as was the way men improved their social status. Women were not allowed to inherit properties because they will later be married and leave their families. In addition, they will be exchanged for cattle, goats, and other properties. However, that has changed as most African governments have revised their constitution to include more women in the decision table. In most countries, they are allowed to own property and being married as a choice rather than a privilege. Thirdly, the African woman was brought up perhaps in a grass-thatched house, mud house, and if you lucky, once brought up in small cities. They were responsible for searching for food through tilling the land with the help of their family children. Critically, the woman was the breadwinner of the family, although the food was not a problem considering the African fertile land. The men and the boys would also bring hunted meat from the forest for their families. For the women, in one perspective, life was enjoyable, but in the other, she didn't have the total freedom she needed. This work of art displays an inside meaning of the struggles of the African women with the clear expressions. However, the story of the struggles of the African women has not taken center stage in the media, for which the media should be criticized. Most African stories covered by the international media focus on the suffering and underprivileged population. Although numerous families are still suffering, a significant number are shining academically in the corporate sector and in government. From a personal perspective, Africa need not portrayed in this way again because it is modern and rapidly developing. The African woman is now modern and knows her dreams and work hard to achieve them. Although the environment may not be perfect for her to thrive like in the developed world, the struggles keeps her focused and firm. Additionally, her success is still threatened from within. As common in most African governments, most people in government have ruled for generations. Therefore, they may not recognize the growth of the women. Those continue to think primitively of the African women. In that regard, they feel empowering a woman is the threat to their superiority. As a result, women are yet to achieve an equal share of government corporate representation. Nevertheless, she will continue making strides and in future likely to achieve a lot in terms of inclusion on the decision table. Intention for this artwork is to inspire hard work in the current young population. Most young people, especially in the university, keep complaining about unmet needs and filled financial expectation from their parents. The purpose of this art is to show that the world is a tough place and someone struggles from them to have a good life. Therefore, they should also make it a better place where the coming generation will be accommodated. This art also explains the importance of keeping cultural heritage intact from the modern world. The secret will be having modern living standards and integrating the culture with them. Therefore, this artwork would go a long way to inspire their deep insight to work for better.